Hello, welcome. It's episode 319. That's a great song by Prince, by the way, and his album, The Gold Experience. Go check it out. It's also featured in that film about strippers. I can't remember the name. Was it called? Maybe it was called Striptease or something like that. It's a brilliant song. Go check it out. Anyway, that's your little useless bit of show-related title trivia. Welcome. This is feeling back to normal. It's a little bit of a downer. Last week, we were in Berlin, or say Peter and I were in Berlin. We were trying to run the show and we were a little late because of technical issues, but we have no such problems now. We worked out what it was. It was my email inbox had reached capacity. So I've been doing a lot of clearing out and spending money on increasing that capacity so we don't have that problem anymore. Anyway, here we are. It is May the 15th. Episode 319, it's post Superbooth, so news is once again thin on the ground because everyone shot their bolt last week, and it was a great week, so we'll maybe reminisce a little bit and kind of talk about the good things and the bad things that we saw, because obviously when we did the show last week, we were sort of like 2/3 of the way through, and I don't really think anything happened between us doing the show and the end of Superbooth 24 hours later, but it'll be worth a little chat about that, and we've got some other topics to talk about and some news bits to talk about as well. Stick around because hopefully it'll be a good one. Before we do anything else, let's get all the boring stuff out of the way. So if you haven't already, give us a like, give us a subscribe. That would be fantastic. Loads of people subscribing as we go through. Hopefully, people saw myself and Peter, walking around with our logos on, and they thought, wonder what that is, and they've gone and found us and either blocked us or subscribed to us, one of the two. Hopefully it's the subscription one. But if you haven't already and you're watching the show, or maybe you're watching the show because you saw us walking around with that logo on our shirts and you thought, what on earth is that about? I will check it out. Here we are. Give us a subscribe. That would be fantastic. It doesn't cost you anything, and if you want to be notified, hit the bell and get your personalized notifications as and when. If you know somebody who would benefit from watching this, then please do share the link around. And if you want to comment during the show, you can do so through the YouTube chat, through the Facebook comments, and also through Twitch chat as well, because those are the three platforms where we are broadcasting. Please do get involved. This is a show for everyone, and we love to hear from you all. So please do get typing and asking questions. And if you do ask a question, then do make sure to put a big capital Q in the front of the question, so that way it helps us pick it out visually. But also make sure that you use the correct grammar and put a question mark at the end of your question, because that apparently automatically throws it into the bucket. So that's really helpful. They're making all these little improvements, and that's one of them. So yeah, do get involved. Do ask questions. If you want to support us, because we are completely viewer supported. Sorry, not user supported. Do you use me? I don't know. Use me at your pleasure. But you view. So you can support us because we're not for profit. We get some advertising revenue from YouTube. It doesn't amount to a huge amount. But we also have a Patreon page. There's the link, prosynthnetwork.com/Patreon. And there's loads of stuff. We put up a brand new bank of Mercury 8 patches from Custom Sonics. Again, he keeps throwing stuff at us, and it's lovely. And thank you very much, Ger, for sending those over. So if you are a Patreon subscriber or a YouTube channel member, you get those as part of the package, no extra cost. It's a minimum $2 a month, and you can sign up and sign off and sign up again. Do it as many times as you like, and every single penny goes towards keeping the lights on. So thank you ever so much to all of our Patreons and to all of our YouTube channel members. Of course, you can do that as well. Join YouTube, same thing, minimum $2. You get all the freebies. If you're looking for those freebies on the YouTube channel, obviously you've got to be a member. Then click on the Posts tab, and you'll see everything there, and all the links to download stuff are there. And that includes patches for your software synthesizers, your hardware synthesizers, decent sampler instruments, exclusive video content, ad-free video content. All of that stuff is there. So please go and help yourselves once you've signed up, and that'd be fantastic. The other thing you can do is buy stuff like this, t-shirts and clothes and other bits and bobs with the logo on and various other things. Lots of merchandise to be had. So if you want to have a ProSynth Network t-shirt or a hoodie or now we're entering summer, you can get a swimsuit with ProSynth Network on. It's all there. Please do go and grab some stuff and show your love and show off the name as well. So you can do that. And if you want to get in touch or speak to fellow ProSynth Network viewers during the week, we have a Discord channel, prosynthnetwork.com/Discord. We are also across all of the nicer social media channels. So Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Although I really don't know why we still have TikTok. But anyway, I haven't checked it in months. Right, that's all the housekeeping stuff, I believe. We've got some interesting things to talk about. So who do I talk about them with? Let's go into nature and bring in Jason Jervis. You're muted.
I know, because I'm fighting with a roosting? Yeah, that's right, a roosting pigeon.
You're fighting with a pigeon? Wow.
Who's literally just in this tree.
Figuratively.
So if you can hear a woo, woo, woo.
That's not your tummy.
It's not my tummy. That is literally a pigeon. So I've got this for protection.
Yep.
That's why I'm wearing the hat.
Cool stuff. Back out in the garden again.
Yeah, well, I mean, the technology works better out here, apparently. So
it's weird, isn't it?
Why not be out here whilst we can?
Yeah.
It's not quite rain.
And it's only going to get nicer next week, apparently. The weather's going to really improve.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. We're getting up to 27 degrees, they say.
Ooh, that is balmy.
Isn't it?
In shorts and T-shirts.
Indeed. Good to see you. Have you had a good week? Have you been catching up with what's going on? Because you were missed at Superbooth. People were saying, "Where's Jason?" He's not here.
No. I've heard that a lot from various quarters. It's just one of those unfortunate things. Combination of childcare and money, and almost had both and then had neither. So it's kind of one of those things. Next year, though, I keep saying that's my third missed Superbooth.
It's not good.
It's not good enough. So I'm going to have to work hard to get it going for next year. But
yes.
I've kind of caught up with as much of the sort of gear as I wanted to. I think for me, Superbooth isn't about the gear.
No,
it's about the community, and I think that, and the music, and I think that's what I really missed, is catching up with people that I only ever see there. Yeah. So I've got a few video calls to have in lieu of that, but yeah.
Definitely. It's funny you should say that, because earlier this afternoon, YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, served me up some video content in the algorithm, and one of those videos was from Noir et Blanc Vie, or Black and White Life, whose channel I periodically sort of dip into and have a look at. And he put up a video about Superbooth, and essentially he said it's exactly that. It's not about the gear, it's about the people, it's about interacting on a face-to-face level, pressing the flesh, smelling your friends, all that kind of stuff. And he just is absolutely right. It's the best thing about Superbooth or any of these other things, it's the people, it's the community, it's getting in front of your companions.
Funny you mentioned him, because he was one of the guys that was asking me, am I going to be there?
There you
go.
Because
of course I met him back on Thoman's Synth React. Don't you dare. It's too wobbly, that table, son. So yeah, it would have been 6 years since I've seen him. I've sort of, I think I saw him I saw him at NAMM, but a year later. But there you go.
I saw him wandering around last week, but I don't really. I'm not familiar. We're not familiar with each other, shall we say?
Oh. Well, there we go. He's a lovely guy, really.
Yes, solid. So his channel is quite interesting at times, and
he's
worth a watch.
He's a musician. He's a musician
exactly.
first, who fell into reviewing gear, then realised, actually, no, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? And I think he's really authentic. So if you've not heard of him, go and check him out. And he does he's got two channels. Yes. One is basically for live streaming after hours, and that's he streams way early in the morning in the UK, and probably even earlier in Europe. But he's definitely, if you're in the States, and you've not heard of him, go and check him out for sure.
But he hit the proverbial nail on its head with that one, I think. So for sure. Anyway, good to see you. Good to see Tom. Oh, look, he's so gorgeous.
He's my favourite,
isn't he? Yeah. No, I think I agree, because he's not as flamboyant. I think he's very, he's classy. He's a classy cat.
He's class, all class.
Yeah,
with the time. Absolutely.
Classy kitty.
He doesn't need to show off.
Yeah. Anyway, good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Let's now go up to the wilds of Scotland. Hey,
Oh,
how you doing?
I'm good. 11. It's been a steady old week this week. Nicer weather up here again for a change. It's been slightly rainy, but no, it's nicer weather up here, and I believe it's supposed to be getting better, like you say, so fingers crossed.
Good.
Yeah, just been working away on the Mini-Log XD this week, and then I'll be moving on to the Pro-Log behind me. So, it's quite handy, to be honest, because they're very similar kind of interfaces. So yeah, I'll shift onto that one after this, and then I think it'll probably be the Melbourne Instruments Delia after that. Not the Polybrute 12 yet, no.
I'm trying, Kent. I'm trying.
I know, yeah. Very trying.
We've got a news topic that involves you as well this week.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. If you want to know what that is, stay tuned. Good to see you, mate, as always.
And you.
Welcome. Let's go across to Mr. Spong, who's got his medallions out, very 70s.
Yeah, man. Yeah, got them all. I'm quite pissed off still, so yeah. Yeah.
For people that don't know, Kent has been given an eviction notice.
Yeah.
On one of his most valuable storage spaces.
The only
storage space.
The only storage space.
The garage will be no more.
Yeah, I have been given 6 days to vacate the premises. And yeah, that's been, oh mate, yeah. And every time I try to do something, another neighbour comes into the garage and shouts at me, going, "This is outrageous. I don't believe I fought in the war. I did." You know,
and that was just Fiona.
And that's just Fiona. Yeah. So yeah, it's bad news for Ty.
Yes.
Because I remember saying to him, I said, "You won't believe this." I said, "There is a Chase bit 99 in there, fully working." He goes, "No," he says, "I want the bit 01. There's a bit 01 in there as well that I found today. Yeah, right up the back. There's a bloody bit 01 as well. 2 memory Moogs, couple of Jupiter 8s, 2 Jupiter 6s, God knows how many Junos, 2 SX 400s, a B35, ARP toners, and enough boards to build a working model of the Titanic."
There you go.
Yeah.
We've
and
seen
I've got to find somewhere to put it all.
Yeah, indeed. It's not going to be an easy job. Good luck with that.
No.
Good luck with that, indeed. But other than that, you're all well, yeah?
Well, I did have some good news today.
Oh, good.
This arrived. It's taken weeks. But my petrol cap.
Oh, I thought it was an ashtray.
For my
Oh, very nice.
Look at that. I should give you a close up. There you go.
Look at that.
Beautiful chromed.
Where do you plug it in?
It goes on the petrol
Sorry, I'm
tank.
being facetious.
Thing is, it weighs about 1 kilo.
I bet.
It's actually a great big heavy thing.
Is it a locking one? Because I can see somebody wanting to come along and have that.
Good luck.
There you go.
Good luck. But it'll seal the tank off now because I'm losing fuel through evaporation.
Just
the old one is just... And it was only a mere 295 quid.
Is that all?
Bloody hell. Jesus.
Every home should have one.
Oh dear. That's a Waldorf protein right there.
Tell me about it.
I know.
That's not including the bonnet pins as well that arrived today.
Oh God.
So anyway, yes.
Good to see you. And moving on to our last but one panellist is Mr. Andrew Longhurst. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Last but one. Look at that.
Look at that. Fantastic.
Merch.
I've got one of them.
My iPad. Look at that. My proper iPad goes up there.
I took a bunch of those. I took a bunch of those to Berlin. Never gave a single one out. Completely forgot about them.
No,
that's like doing all the business card prints and going to the show with.
No, that's
300 business cards, completely forgetting them. Yeah,
that's how stingy Robbie is. He won't hand them out.
It's not that. I completely forgot. Anyway, Andrew, how have you been?
I've had a bit of a week. I had the extraordinary pleasure of having a card declined on the purchase of a Osmo CE, as I told you earlier, because there weren't enough funds, because the tax man hit my account along with 2 insurances, and suddenly I've got $2.5 grand that I'd kind of wasn't expecting to go out quite that much and quite that soon, all at the same time, so I've got to wait now till next week to go and buy it. But yeah, otherwise, it was miserable weather. I'm looking good, very pretty, and I've got my ProSynth Network drinky thing
with some.
And I'm starting work on a new sound bank, a bunch of presets.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
good stuff. Well, we're 5 up tonight, so we should easily get through the next hour and 40 minutes. That's all that's left. We've done all the intros, so welcome everyone, and here we go. We are going to be talking about a few little things. Of course, everyone in the chat is welcome to drop in as well. We've got 2 moderators. We've got not only Steve Elbows, the master of MPE. But we've also got the wonderful, beautiful Andy Vonal, aka Andy Brooks, is in the house. And
Mr. Brooks.
He's even donated £5 usual service resumed. And very, very bloody welcome it is too. So good to see you, sir. Welcome back to the fold. And the wonderful, gorgeous Amanda Chowdhury, Cat Synth of Cat Synth TV, who was representing the channel. Her channel, Cat Synth TV, very well at Superbooth, going around filming lots of videos with the little kitty, wearing the merch and everything. It was great to hang with you, Amanda, for those sort of 3 or 4 days, and I hope we can do it again soon. It was a real pleasure to meet you in the flesh, so to speak. As we did lots of other people. That's one of the great things about Superbooth, is that everyone comes from all over the world. I mean, we had Dr. Manny Fernandez, who, surprisingly, or maybe it's unsurprisingly, became slightly injured the day before Superbooth, riding on a roller coaster, and put his back out, bless him. Ended up in hospital on serious levels of pain relief, but he soldiered on, and he was there for every day, and he came out for the meal as well, and we had lunch on the Saturday, I think. So it was a lot of fun hanging with Manny, and of course there was Kim from Bukes, there was Diana, and of course the inimitable Dr. Mike Metley on that stand as well. I was of course with Peter for all of that time as well, and we saw loads of people, and if I don't mention you by name, don't think I've forgotten you. It's just so many people from this community that were out there. That we, people like Tim Dale that often watches the show. Who else did we see out there? I was just trying to remember. Everyone. Saw Dina and Michelle. Dina and Michelle, of course. Pete Catley and his lovely wife. I love the way that Pete Catley negotiates trips to synthesizer shows as holidays, where his wife can go off and do her thing. So we would all walk up to the S-Bahn station, and then Mrs. Catley would go in that direction, and we'd go in that direction, and then we'd all meet up at the end and have dinner and wine. So it was lovely. Loads of Otto as well, who's the first time person I've met from Finland, who is one of Mike's musical friends. Just loads of people just hanging out, having fun with this lovely shared interest. And Alex Ball was there, and we hang out with Alex, and Guido from GS Music and his wonderful partner, Antonio from Antinous Music and his partner. We had Bob Coover hanging around with us on the Thursday evening, along with the wonderful David Bryce, who I don't know if people who can sort of cast their minds way back, was on the show and loved it so much that he donated cloud lifters for all of our microphones, which was incredibly generous of him, and it's still in good use today. But it was wonderful to see Bryce. There's a man who can give Metley a run for his money. I know. Wow. Who'd have thunk?
Is that a good thing?
Wow. And when they're both together in the same room, oh my God.
Do they cancel each other out?
Kind of, no. They just double. Expands. Carl Bedford, Ben Breslin, who we have to say massive thanks to those two guys for once again organising the Thursday night dinner, where we had about 30 or 40 people just rock up to this massive Chinese buffet restaurant, and we all just tucked in and had a great time and ate lots of food and drank lots of beer, and it was just brilliant. And I started off, I think, on the Friday on the show, I mentioned that it kind of got off to a slow start because the weather was cold. It was 11 degrees, and then there was a chilly wind on top, so it felt like 7 or 8. Muggins here only brought shorts, and so it was a little bit on the chilly side. and not very good. And the whole vibe of the place, I think everyone was just feeling, oh, this isn't like the last few years has been absolutely gorgeous sunshine and 25, 27 degrees Celsius. And then it was right down to 11. So Thursday was a little bit of a slow starter. But we went and hung out with people like Howard Scarr in his tent because it was nice and warm in there. And Howie gave us just a brilliant demonstration of Zebra 3. And he was doing these weird and wonderful things. It's an incredible instrument, that is. We went and saw Paul Whittington, who is going to be coming to Synth Southwest next year, not only as an exhibitor, but we hope, as a performer too.
Oh, wow.
And he showed us his new prototype of his Oscar recreation, which is sounding incredible. So if it ends up, carrying on that trajectory, it's going to be an incredible instrument. Who else did we see that was rather cool on the stands? Of course, Bob Coover, the beautifully animated, verbose Bob Coover demonstrating spatial audio on the third wave, which was very cool. We bumped into Christian Hahn from Modular Electronics, who, without me prompting him, said, I've got to come on the show. We've got so much to tell you and talk about. So Christian will be on the show fairly soon, and that was very cool. We hung out with Arturia. We hung out with, I hung out with some high ups at Moog Music and In Music, who weren't showing anything, but yet dropped the biggest news of the week with their acquisition of Native Instruments and the related companies as well. So that was cool to hang with those guys. Got some very interesting inside information coming up in the next maybe 6 to 12 months from that and Arturia and lots of other companies as well. Who else did we see that was very cool? Oh, we saw Jacob and his amazing Relic synthesizer, which I mistakenly said last week was a clone of the Expander. It's not, it's the OBX-A. It's this wonderful, bonkers, brilliant just thing, and it's incredible. It was great to meet him in person. He really is that kind of into it. He really is. So that was cool. And loads of other people. I could stay. Oh, Chris Dodsworth, aka Chris Lodi, Sonicware, and Dr. Uendo, who is the founder of the company and the guy that pretty much invents all of the stuff that they do. He was there. We had a lovely little chat, and he was super, super nice. But yeah, loads of great people. So if I've forgotten you and you're watching the show, I apologise. There's so much to go on, talk about, but time moves on. But one of the big things that was at the show last week that I didn't really get a huge amount of time with, because I'm always worried about playing with their stuff because I never really get it, was this from Polyend.
Introducing Polyend Drums, an analog and digital drum machine designed to feel immediate, sound exceptional, and give you more ways to create with less to think about. With 8 tracks that can each become analog, digital, or sample-based, drums let you build beats with depth, movement, and character. Years of experience in developing sequencers led us to our most advanced and intuitive sequencing system yet. Generative algorithms, randomization, parameter locks, pattern chains, live recording, multiple track play modes, polyrhythms, and much more. Everything is deep when you need it and immediate when you want to move fast. Drums is built for live performance too. Pattern switching is instant, sound kits change immediately. You have quick access to every important parameter, nothing is hidden. The XOY fader lets you morph a kit between 2 different versions and turn a static pattern into a living performance. Dial in each parameter by hand or use the smart randomizer to create new variations, control accidents, and unexpected starting points. This is Polyend Drums.
So Polyend had a lovely stand at Superbooth this year, and of course this was the star of the show. I took a look at it, and my instant thought was, oh, hello, this is a TR-1000 competitor because it's got all the knobs and everything on there, and it's this massive drum machine. Slightly different concept, but still a very nice sounding thing. But the interface, I mean, it's a very busy interface, but the legend on the interface is barely existent. It's very small. And on the black version, you're thinking, God, this is going to be a nightmare to use live. It's a beautiful thing. It's a very well designed thing, and it sounds incredibly good. And it's about the same price as a TR-1000. I think it's about a couple of £100 cheaper, but not much. It's a huge amount of money.
23 grand, isn't it? So 2,300, not 23.
Yeah, 2,324. Yeah,
something like that.
But it's a cracking thing, I have to say. And it's got these lovely tiny little screens above each of those channels. And of course, a very useful grid sequencer, which of course Polyend do amazing things with grids and pads and stuff. I like it, but it just. I was just thinking, the people that are going to, you see how small the lettering is underneath those things. It's an interesting thing. And Jason, you're a Polyend fan,
yeah,
so
I am.
give us your opinion. Is this going to be entering your studio anytime soon?
Drum machines and me, are a love affair that I've always had. I think I very easily curtail my gas these days because of financial constraints, but it's definitely something I would be interested in playing and maybe having in for review. And on the back of that, I think probably get a little bit of gear acquirement syndrome.
Indeed.
But they've worked hard for you, Robbie. That's what I was saying. Is that the market that thinks Polyend is complicated and complex, they're trying to address the interface with this. Now,
yes,
I wonder if because stylistically it's beautiful. It's so well designed. It's
a
solid
lovely
metal,
design,
gorgeous, and it's going to be solid, right? And they're not going to use any cheap components for that sort of price point. But ultimately, I wonder if it doesn't matter. If you hit a knob, it's gonna tell you on that little screen what that knob is.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be like, and I think over time you just become familiar with it. And like anything else, learning curve on this is going to be quite short, and not so steep. It's not an Electron.
No, and the way it's laid out is pretty. Straightforward and understandable. It bothered me when I looked at this, for example. I was just like, "What are there words underneath them? Is there any?" It was so difficult to see.
I don't think you need them.
No,
I don't think. I think it's going to become quite obvious because you can see it's like a mixing desk, isn't it? You've got your eight voices. And then, like I say, you've got that little screen there, and that's an OLED screen by the looks of things. So it's quite bright, and it's going to cut through. So whatever you touch is going to tell you. So, and I wonder if the knobs will be touch sensitive, so that you only have to touch it to show what that parameter is.
If
so
that's
quite
the
quickly,
case,
you don't need the letters. They're cluttered of
And you're quite right, Jason. This is it. It looks to me like a mix console in that. If you've not seen one before, you come into a room and see this huge, great expanse of knobs, and you go, don't look at all of those, look at just one strip. And there's 8, 10, 11, there's 11 knobs.
Four analog, 4 digital voices, so,
But no, I'm just talking about the number of knobs. You only need to get to know 8 or 11 knobs. And once you've done that, you know it across the whole thing. So I think you're going to get to know this really quickly. Whether or not it's a TR-1000 beta, I don't know.
I mean, Roland have got a name for themselves, haven't they? For that, and that's the first time they've brought back a drum machine with a bit of oomph to it. So it's going to be nice to have something. Yeah,
it's good that they've got the probability and some generic stuff in there as well, because I do like all that kind of generic stuff. It's great.
Yeah. It's a beautiful design.
Yeah.
It's a very
beautiful.
Pretty thing.
It's a very kind of Apple-looking kind of design, isn't it? Yeah.
Well,
it has that
do
about
that
it for sure.
The aesthetics of that company are just
bang
on.
Would you go silver or black?
Well, I've got two black
say.
boxes. The silver would be a bit weird. I think I'd have to go black as well. As long as the black buttons lit up black when you press them.
I remember 4 years ago when Ben and I went to Superbooth and we went to the Polyend stand and we were like, roll our sleeves, like, right, let's have a look because these are supposed to be really cool things. And we both stood there on different machines, and after about 5 minutes we looked at each other and go, do you know what you're doing? And we're like, and there was nobody around to help us, and we just got kind of lost. So it probably is one of those things. But drum machines are pretty straightforward, aren't they? I mean, they do pretty much standard things. But no, it's a very pretty thing. I mean, Kent, I know you don't do boxes, but you do drum machines.
Well, yeah. It's overpriced shite, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. Look, you've got, what is it, 2,300 quid? Mm-hmm. And it's doing the same sounds my drum log does for 299, or my TR. It's the same fecking thing over and over and over again. Please, can we have new drum sounds?
I think that's what they're trying to do, though. I think that's why you've got.
Why does it sound like a 909 and an 808 then?
Because I suppose it's got to capture
it's
that.
It's got to
as
have
well.
that.
But
Yeah,
I think it'll give you a lot more. I think this, if there's synth engines, anything to go by in the synth, then I think the drum synth will be equally powerful and interesting and capable of doing stuff that is outside of the Roland sort of brief for drum sounds.
Breaking news: people have those sounds already. Okay, these drum machines have been coming out with the same bloody drum sounds on them for 20 years. Can you tell I'm in a bad mood?
Yeah, I can.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You need a cuddle.
Who designed it? Who designed it? The design is nice, but it really does look like it was designed by Apple.
It has that.
It looks like something that should be in the Apple store.
Yeah, it does look Apple.
The thing is, I like the way this was being played in the demo. I like how quickly you could put stuff together. But then, having said that, I also saw the best demo I've seen for the Tembo on YouTube today. Is it the Tembo? That you were about to say something, Robbie.
I was going to say those bleeps were hidden on the Neves, on the Rupert Neves stack. I mean, I'm there for synthesizers. I'm not there for outboard. And there's a section of Superbooth which is reserved for the outboard stuff and the recording studio. And I'm not there.
I love that.
Come on,
and I had to walk through that section. I had to walk through that section to get to Osmos, because Osmos always take up the position on the balcony there. And I must have walked past that Tembo at least 4 times. And didn't see it and didn't notice it. In fact, I think he was probably opposite the guy from is it Ploytech that is there every year with his steel guitar playing the same riff with his stand, and it's the same. It was just it really is kind of like Groundhog Day sometimes up on that bit. Very strange. But no, I missed the Tembo, and I'm gutted I missed the Tembo because I really wanted to have a go with it. So that pissed me off. A lot. I always come back thinking I've missed something, and that was
I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it is, Rob, when mine arrives later on this year.
We expect it. Yeah,
indeed, so will I.
Oh, did you order one as well, Andrew?
Yeah, I ordered one. I can't wait. And the thing is, putting all of Robbie's eye to one side, the whole thing of how you interact with that, it's cheap. It doesn't do anything like as much as this, but I like it, and I can see me sitting with it just on my lap or on the coffee table and letting people dick around with it. Yeah. I think it's going to end up coming up with some lovely stuff.
Great little really centrepiece if you've got folk round for dinner as well. It's just a bit of fun, you know. Yeah. Great for the family. When we've got family around, they'll love it.
But don't play nieces and nephews at the same time.
No.
But quite frankly, if I've got $2,500 to spend on the drum machine, it's not going on the Polyend.
You would go for the
TR-1000.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's been done by the company that's responsible for the sounds.
True.
Yeah.
She's not going to let that one go, is it?
Right, I'm going to prove you all wrong. I'm going to get one for review, and I'm going to show you what I can do. It's just flipping Roland sounds. I'm not interested in Roland sounds generally, but there we go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. That's the Polyend Drums, which is available to order now, or reserve, should I say now, at $2,699 which is about $2,324.
So, sorry, a question for you, Robbie, and everyone else. If this was under 2,000, would you be more likely? Would you be tempted if it was like 1,500?
I'd be slightly more likely to do it, but I'd still look at the TR-1000 and think that's the daddy.
Yeah, but for £2,000, you could buy a real drummer and keep him in a cardboard box under the stairs.
True. You could buy me.
That cheap?
You could buy me.
Couldn't you? I mean,
and he wouldn't play 808 sounds.
Job done.
Only at the weekends. Anyway, Brilliant. There we go. So there is. Let's move on to something else. Now this one, So Camille from UVI. I don't know if Camille's watching, but Camille sent an email to me. I think it was on the Thursday when I was having trouble getting emails. She sent this email saying, "We're here. Come and see us. We've got some interesting things to show you." And I'm like, I didn't get this until after Superbooth, so I missed. But they launched it like a couple of days after Superbooth finished. Let me play you the trailer, and then maybe we'll throw this up on screen as a live demonstration, because I think, pound for pound, this could be a lot of people's answer to making orchestral music. This is brand new from UVI. This is Orchestral Suite 2. There you go. That's Orchestral Suite 2. Everything you heard came from that plugin. And it's an incredible collection, of course, of orchestral sounds, including choirs and organs. And right now you can pick it up for €129. Full price is only $199, but $129.
Wow,
it's absolutely bonkers. So it features string solos, string ensembles, brass solos and ensembles, woodwind solos and ensembles, combined orchestra sounds, choirs, harps, harpsichords, celesta, pitched percussion, regular percussion, cathedral organs, and classical guitar. So you have 15 basic, sort of instrument types and groupings. Plus, you might saw this here, the composer feature, which is this kind of chord generating thing. So let me just, I'm going to bring this up on screen here for you, just to have a look at. So here it is. This is currently running in Falcon. So you see the layout of the orchestra here. When you load up a preset into this, when you play the note, for example, it will show you where it's coming from. So I've got something else running in the background. Let me just quit that out of there. So you choose a sound type, or and then you've got chord presets which are kind of based on type, sort of sound types, emotion types. You have dark and energetic, joyful, meditative, and you can choose any one of these. So if you want something inspirational with the Philharmonic setting here, so we just do that, and bear with me. You hearing that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. So you think, well, that's cool, but what's actually sitting behind that? Well, there's actually whole sections of instruments. If you go into the edit function, so we can now see the sections of the orchestra that are making those sounds, and it will show you. And you can adjust the volume and the panning for each of those. It automatically generates them based on their position in a traditional orchestra. You've got an envelope feature there to mess around with that. And you can even change the notes within the chord to ones that you would prefer to have if these don't suit. So there's all these wonderful different options. You can change the key, you can up the octaves down, you can mess around with the effects. And this is just really an ideas machine, but it's a really, really lovely way to maybe just start, getting some ideas together. But then if you start to go into, for example, let's go into the string ensemble section, and we'll go string ensemble all, and what do we do? Let's just choose polyvelocity. Let me just let that load up there. As you can see, it's a pretty extensive collection here. Now, those of you that use Spitfire will be going, hello, this looks a bit familiar, and they have the instrument and the articulations are laid out very similar to something like BBC SO, but I find this a lot easier to kind of just get into. So you can just choose your sound types, and you can play. All of these are key switched down here on the bottom left hand side, so you can choose all of these just by key switching. You can go from polyphonic to legato to portamento. You can have true range or outside of the true range. So if you want to go kind of above and below what they normally do, you can change the color, the dynamics, the balance, the effects. Again, the effects you can change with. You've got reverb, delay, EQ, and maximizers on there, and that's all using the algorithms that you'll find in UVI's effects plugins, all incorporated into here. And it's just so extensive. When you see what is available to you for €129, which is what is that in pounds and pence? It's just over £100 at the moment.
That's just nuts.
It is. It's bonkers how much you
Completely
get
bonkers
compared to the original orchestral suite, which you got a lot of stuff, but it wasn't quite as detailed as this. This seems really powerful. Now I'm going to go across to our resident orchestral library hoarder, Mr. Kent Spong.
You could have missed out. You could have missed out the dare there.
Yeah, I mentioned this to you yesterday, I think it was. Did you have you become weak and bought this, or have you at least had a look at it?
No, I haven't bought. I tell you why I haven't bought this is because I already have all of this covered, right? But the interesting thing about this package is price.
Mm-hmm.
B. I think that comes next, isn't it? B. Yeah, B.
Yeah, B's next. Yeah.
B. Price. C. Price.
Yeah.
D. Now, see, it's a brilliant starting pack for anybody who wants to get into this kind of thing, because there's a lot of training wheels associated onto this software, which you can then turn off as you get more confident and more understanding about how an orchestra is put together. So
yeah,
this is very, very good. I could have done with this 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Because like I said to you, when I bought Synthphobia, which is very, very similar in package to this, it was £1,290. Whereas this is, as you say,
€129.
That's unbelievable price-wise.
Yeah.
I think the composer tool, the help tool, which you showed just a little earlier, which allows you to choose expression, the kind of mood, the kind, all of that kind of stuff. Just that by itself is probably worth a good chunk of the £100 you're going to pay for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
plus it's showing you what's going on as well.
But also it's giving you, it's allowing you to choose, it will choose some things that maybe you wouldn't have chosen. I find that kind of thing is always good. Exactly that, the composer. I don't normally use this kind of thing, but the way this was working, I really, really liked it. I really liked it.
How many gigabytes does it take to fill?
About 35. Which
35 gigs.
in orchestral library size is not a lot.
That's not huge.
No, it's not.
Well, I've got one sound libraries that are twice as big as that. One sound.
The only one I've got's got 90, I think. But I never use it.
The thing which I'm wondering about this, you remember about a year ago, Roland bought something out that was similar. And I went and bought that. And it's never quite tickled me in the way that this has. This sounds like immediately so much better. I think I'm going to get this. In fact, I think I'm going to get this right now.
Normally, you are spending 8-9 times as much to get something that sounds like this with this many instruments in it. That's the thing. I mean, all right, it probably hasn't got as many different articulations for each instrument. So there's a lot of things you wouldn't be able. But I don't think this is about trying to sound exactly like an orchestra. This is about having an orchestral sound. It's two different things.
I mean, I think I said to you when we spoke about this last night, I said, don't expect, Spitfire levels or Vienna levels of round robins and mic positions and all of that. But there is more than enough here to make it incredibly viable for, full-blown compositions. I know that, if we were to get somebody, the likes of David Arnold or Ty Unwin or any of those people on, they'd be saying, but it hasn't got this, it hasn't got that. But I think they would also turn around and say, for people that are wanting to really get into doing this, €129, and this will get you a lot of the way there, especially with that composer tool that comes with an absolute, I was going to say something rather rude there, an absolute shed load of presets and
carriage load.
Yeah, a carriage load. But each one of those is infinitely tweakable, note by note, chord by chord, key by key. You can mess around with that, and so if something isn't quite to your taste, you can just tweak it, and it's easy to understand. It's all there on the screen.
Can you export the MIDI from the composer?
That I don't know. I don't think you can. I think it's all.
So the only MIDI you're really going to end up with is your one note that you've used to sort of hit that chord, kind of thing.
Yeah, because I know you Falcon, for example, which obviously this runs in UVI Falcon and UVI Workstation. You can do multi MIDI outputs from that. So there must be a way of doing it.
I don't know if it would break up that actual that chord builder though.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that. But I'm just trying to have a quick look through. It'll take ages. But yeah, I mean, obviously you can go to the UVI website, the manual's there, and dig in and see what it does. But I mean, even if it does do that, then that €129 is even more ridiculous.
It's worth it just for that composer side of it. Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's a great price.
I'm just looking to see if it's got Poly, Aftertouch, or MPE.
I must admit, I was quite impressed actually with some of the sounds, some of the solo sounds. Particularly
I was looking to
the clarinets. The
clarinets sounded great.
Good, weren't they?
Yeah,
and the French horns. I always go towards a French horn whenever I get a bit of a French horn.
When you're in Paris.
When I'm in Paris, I always go for a French horn.
Got the horn.
The French horns, they've got that gentle element. But there's also the harshness. So if you want that big full-on kind of crescendo French horn orchestra sound, it's there. And I was looking to see if they listed where these samples were taken from. What was the orchestra? But I couldn't find anything unless it's kind of tucked away in the manual somewhere. Not that it makes any difference because these sound incredible, and UVI are fully legitimate and professional company. That this is it's going to be good, and people will be fairly recompensed. But it would be nice to know. But it's just so detailed.
Well, the pricing of this is what's really going to kind of upset the industry right across the board, actually. Because I imagine Spitfire are going to go, they're selling it for how much? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Because it sets a precedent, doesn't it?
And President Hilton in the chat mentioned earlier that UVI are definitely filling a very NI nervy market. Obviously, that's kind of maybe not so much an issue today as it was last week, but
that's all right. I got a Falcon as well.
Exactly. I mean, I've always been.
Apparently, Falcon does work with MPE. Mr. Hilton mentioned that as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So whether whether this is compatible with all of that features and functionality, it could be, but I wouldn't want to say either way. But yeah, I mean, UVI for me have always been the more preferable of the huge sample library instrument providers over and above, say Native Instruments Contact. But this is it's sickeningly good value, even at full price at €199.
That's still stupid cheap. Still
stupid cheap. For what you're getting, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I was gobsmacked when you said the price of that. I was like, wow.
You don't normally get entire suites for under 500 notes.
And I was gutted that I missed them at Superbooth, because this would have probably been one of the highlights of the show for me. But when I got the email, the press release on the day when it came out, I parked it and went. I'll go and check that out later. But I reckon this is going to be one of their pricier ones. Looking at the the spec sheets and everything. So I was thinking $399, maybe on offer at $299 or something like that. That would have been. I think that would have been an agreeable price, but when I flicked over on the screen, I'm like,
excuse me.
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, the more I think about this, the more I'm thinking I might get it anyway. Because,
stop it.
The thing is, right, like Synthphobia is about, 25 years old. There are still particular instruments that I still use in Synthphobia today, which I find better than in other more modern, more expensive libraries. There's little classic samples, shall we say, in these various libraries that certain sounds that you just like.
Yeah.
I think if anybody's going to grab it tonight, because you'll probably find tomorrow morning they realise there was a typo on the website. There should have been a 0 after the 9.
Yeah. It was 1,999.
Yeah. So I tell you what, one of the great things about Spitfire's BBC SO is that they did these 3 different versions. The Pro version, they did the Core version, and then they did Discover. And Discover was free.
Yeah.
And it was the same instruments that you got in the full version, but less of them. But there was enough there for anyone who didn't have the money to buy Core or Pro to get on board, start making some really great compositions with some great sounds, and collaborate, because you could collaborate with other Discover users very easily. I think even if you've got some big expensive libraries, if you are thinking of possibly collaborating with someone who might not have all of those, this is a great focal point. This is the one that you can all have for around 100 odd quid.
Yeah.
And you've got all of that stuff under your fingers. Sure, it's not as intricately detailed as something like BBC SO, which is an amazing thing.
But to compose something, it's there that you could collaborate with someone with that, and then go back and just go over it with better libraries once you've completed the project. But it's good stuff.
I've been blown away by this since I picked up. Now, of course, say it's €129. Now it goes up to 199. You can spend the price of this and maybe just a tad more. I think it's about €240. And you can get access to every single library that UVI do. Yes, you're paying on an annual basis, but my word, just to be able to see this and go click, boom, it's in my library, and now I'm playing it. Yeah. Sonic Pass, UVI Sonic Pass, is one of the best values. If you're anti-subscription or reluctant subscriber, one of the best ones that you can get is the UVI one in terms of value for money. The amount of instruments you have at your fingertips for around the same price as, say, Roland's Cloud, it's unbeatable in terms of bang for buck. So there you go, UVI. You've hit it out of the park on that one. That's a winner for sure. I think that one's going to go down 100%. As one of the best. Yeah, some good stuff there.
Well
Well done. And yeah, so you can go to uvi.net. I think Steve, at least someone has posted the link in the chat. So go and fill your boots with that one and enjoy. Right, I think it's time to have some viewer music. So we invited everyone that watches the show to send in their music and let us play it for them on the show to a captive audience and see what you think. And we've had some submissions. Now, I have to apologise to a couple of these people that these submissions came in a little while ago, but preparing for things like Superbooth and then being away meant that we didn't get round to them. So we've got about 4 of these to play tonight. I'm going to start off with the shortest and sweetest one, and actually one of my favourites. And it kind of ties in with the whole Superbooth thing, because the name of this piece is Sprechen Sie Deutsch. Have a listen to this.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch, sprechen Sie Deutsch, 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 Deutsch. Come on! Ambe, sprechen Sie Deutsch. I don't wanna know if you wanna know me, baby. I just care if you want to love me, baby. Do you sprechen Sie Deutsch, sprechen Sie Deutsch, sprechen Sie Deutsch, sprechen Sie Deutsch. Hey, come on, oh, pretty baby, what can you be? I don't love you. Sprechen Sie Deutsch, sprechen Sie Deutsch. I show you love.
Brilliant. Loved that. I think that was
absolutely
fantastic. The video, that's something I just knocked up very, very quickly because I just got the MP3 sent through, so I had to put some sort of visual behind it. So I thought, here you go, a bit of a waving German flag and some sort of oscilloscope on there. So that came from Hot Paradox, and he emailed the show. He said, "Hey Rob, love the show. I've attached my song as I couldn't work out another way to do it. It's a short song. I wonder if you might play it. Hope you like it. Big fan of 80s, 90s and anything prog with synths. Cheers, JD." And that's the only information that I have to their identity. But that's from Hot Paradox. No links to where you can listen to more Hot Paradox stuff. But if you're watching the show, tell us and we'll gladly share that around. That was brilliant. I love the brevity. Doesn't need to be any longer than that. It was just super cool. So Hot Paradox there in Sprechen Sie Deutsch, which I thought tied in nicely with our.
But didn't find out if they did.
No, we just don't know. And it's very Eurovision as well. Of course, you must remember. Tomorrow night is Eurovision Song Contest. And 1, 2, 3, our very own Sam Battle, Look Mum No Computer, is representing the United Kingdom. We here can't vote for him. It's not allowed. So we are begging the synth community around Europe and anyone that can kind of maybe proxy in through VPNs or anything, please try and vote for Sam Battle. Not for the fact that it's a good or a bad song, not for the fact that it's the United Kingdom. It's because he's one of us. And we all feel incredibly seen because of him. There was a bit on the news earlier, and he's going around this technology museum in Vienna. And when he came to the musical instruments section, he was just like a kid in a sweet shop. It was brilliant. Oh, Polymoog! It's got one of these. And it was just beautiful to see. I saw his act last night on the semi-final show. It looks a lot of fun. Hopefully that'll all go okay tomorrow night. But please do root for Sam. And if you're able to vote for that, get your votes in and give him as many votes as you possibly can, because it would be amazing for him to win.
He looked like Willy Wonka in that museum. Yeah. He was just such a child. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It was brilliant.
It was delightful.
Absolutely brilliant.
Right, let's see.
That was a good song.
Yeah,
let's
play another one. Let's see. I think we're going to play this one by Paul Barrett. Paul Barrett sent this one in, and it's called Alien Abduction.
Release your mind, it's just a dream, illusion. Release your mind, it's just a dream, illusion.
Ruddy marvellous.
Yeah.
Do love KV stuff.
Resplendent.
KV5 in the chat. That's Paul Barrett. The vocals are by I've lost it now.
Neil Tennant.
Steve Skipper.
Sounded a bit like Neil Tennant, didn't it?
It was very Gary Newman-like.
This was very Gary Newman.
That's a compliment.
Vocals. Yeah. Very. He said he was a big Newman fan anyway.
Clearly shows. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Definitely a Newman vibe for that. According to Paul, he said, I did all the music and the singing at the very start and at the end. My friend Steve Skipper sung the main vocal for me and wrote the lyrics. The video was made in Sony Vegas. All the relevant info you saw at the end of the video there. It's a song I did a few years ago. It's on his YouTube channel and on his Bandcamp page as well. So you can go and buy that if you liked it. He said he mainly uses a wealth of hardware gear in his compact studio space, but always prefers his DAW and VSTs for a more polished professional sound. Paul, mate, thank you very much indeed. Really enjoyed that.
He does great jams on his channel as well, actually. It's worth subscribing
to. Absolutely.
Really interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll go and subscribe now.
Yeah, go and subscribe to that channel now. I'm loving this. I'm really enjoying hearing some of our viewers' music, and it's a very cool thing. Hopefully, we don't get any copyright strikes.
I was just wondering about that.
Well, I have insisted that if you send any music in, it's not going to it won't get a copyright strike. And if you get a warning from YouTube, then just say yes, allow or whatever it is. So all good. Right, there you go. That's KB5, aka Paul Barrett, and Steve Skipper there with Alien Abduction. That was a cracking tune. Thank you very much indeed for that. Right, up to a little bit of news now that involves one of us.
What's he done now?
He spilt his beer by the looks of it.
What have you done?
No, I was just looking below.
So our good friend here, Scotty, who is a brilliant sound designer, has done a bank of patches for the huge Moog One, 100 individual custom sounds that have been compiled into 50 custom patches covering most of your sound types on that particular synthesizer. Now, of course, Scotty doesn't do short videos, which is what I like to be able to play on here as a promo. But if
it's compensation for my height.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Let me just see. I can bring in. I can actually bring in the YouTube thing and play it directly from YouTube. So here we go. Let's just throw this onto the screen. We have a little listen to some of the sounds contained in this.
Some cracking plot ones.
That's a lovely mix.
I want a Moog One now.
Yeah,
it's that low grunt in that. It's cool, isn't it? Sounds a bit TB303 like.
Oi, stop using my chords. I tell you what, we've got to get Scott to make these sounds, but for the PB12. Make that patch.
That's beautiful.
That filter.
Yeah, very nice.
Delicious.
So, as you're listening to these sounds, I might as well tell you that if you have a Moog One, you can buy this bank from the Bob Moog Foundation, because that's what it's all about, mate. It's all for charity.
It's all for charity.
Indeed, it cost you 17 quid for this wonderful bank of sounds, which if you own a Moog One is nothing. Because if you can afford one of those beasts, you can afford 17 quid for this. But all proceeds go to the Bob Moog Foundation that does wonderful work. And it was great to hang out with Michelle and Craig last week. We had dinner at their hotel, which is very nice. There you go. That's the exclusive Moog One soundbank for the Bob Moog Foundation, created by Scott McAuley Sounds, and available over at their website right now. If you go to Bob Moog Foundation, you'll be able to go to the shop and buy that bank right there. Did you have fun making that one, Scott?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Have you done? How many banks have you done for the Moog One already? Like on
that's number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
The first 3 that I'd done are all big. There are sort of like 200 and odd various sounds in each bank that are sort of merged into, because it's got 3 layers per patch. It takes a longer spell to make patches on the Moog One because you're doing 3 layers, or not all of them are 3 layers, but I tend to try and do a good sort of spectrum of various different sounds. Some of them are single layers, just like basses and things like that. But then it's good even with basses with the Moog One that you can put like a high pass filtered sound on one, and then layer that with a really fat low end low pass filter on the other, and some of the basses it can do is phenomenal. I love it. It gets a lot of bad press, the Moog One, but I absolutely love it. It's fantastic.
I think it's great also that post In Music Takeover they put out an update for it.
Yes.
So they're still saying, even though we've discontinued this thing, and it did have a slightly bad start in life with some of the firmware issues and the tuning issues and the creaking case. Do you find? I know somebody had a Moog One, and after they'd left it on for some while, they could hear this creaking sound as the wood was kind of shifting.
It warms up. It's more. Mine does it more when it's switched off. It's when I turn it off, you can hear it starting to cool down.
Yeah.
But it's a big old beast, It's got a lot of movement. That's the thing. It's got a lot of. It's solid though. But then I have heard various stories of, I was about to say people's back panel falling off.
I think the first one was funnier.
That could be a swift visit to the doctors. But no, I love it. It's a great synth. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying in the chat, I'll be deaning next for the Alan. We'll have to do something for the.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Alan R. Perman. Easy for me to say foundations.
I do know it was.
Well done,
it was
Scott.
great to see those two lovely ladies together so much across the days.
You got a cracking photo of them both.
I did. I
away
snuck a little
bench,
picture of them. So they went out for brunch. Basically they just went out somewhere within Superbooth and just sat down and were having a chat. And I was talking to Pete, and I just noticed them, and I thought, they're sat face to face, and they're having this lovely conversation. I just kind of got this little candid photo of them together, and it was lovely. And that was right before I went to whisper in Michelle's ear to tell her that In Music had bought Native Instruments, which she was completely unaware of, and lost her mind over. It was quite funny. But yeah, it was a lovely moment, and it was great to hang with Deanie. Deanie was in our hotel. We took her to the Synthesizer Museum on the Wednesday before the show. Pete and I went for dinner with Michelle and Craig on the was it Friday night or Saturday night? It was Saturday night, of course. Friday night we're doing the show. Saturday night, went and had lovely dinner. The waitress at this hotel, my goodness, she was full of sass and very witty and very funny, and deserved every penny of the tip that I hope Craig left her. But yeah, it was a really lovely meal. Which is very nice indeed. So great to hang with all of those cool people, and you can go and buy that bank now from the Bob Moog Foundation. All proceeds go to help them carry out their work, and we look forward to the Alan R. Perlman Foundation bank at some point soon. Fantastic. Right, let's see.
Somebody in the chat just said about is there a bad Moog? So in answer to your question, yes. There's the MG1.
Sonic 6.
The Sonic 6, the Polymoog. Oh my god, the Polymoog.
Multi-Moog?
Funny enough, no. The multi-Moog is actually really good.
Because I had the Micro Moog, and it was talk about creaky cases. That was real plastic.
It was absolutely that was budget. That was always a budget sense, but it's actually quite a growly little sound, you know.
Yeah, I liked it.
But the MG1 was like Polymoog and Sonic 6. Yeah, that can go in the bin. Ugh.
It was a bin, wasn't it? It was made out of plastic, just remolded.
Yeah. But it was a nice carry case.
Yeah.
You could throw the synth away and, carry your pyjamas in it.
But, some of the good ones far outweigh all the bad ones.
Oh, God, yeah.
For sure. Right, so let's see. Let's talk about something. What are we? 1:15. Let me just remind you that we have our... we didn't do many videos because I was just too busy. But we went by the Sonicware booth and we stopped by...
Yourself?
Sorry?
To liven up yourself?
Liven up myself. Oh, see what you did there.
I couldn't resist that.
The thing I get is there with my eyes closed. So we had a chat with... oh, God, I can't pick a still without me making a silly facial expression. I mean...
Don't stop.
In it.
Do what, John?
This is just... I mean, there you go. That'll do.
I've touched his winky.
Look at the look on
I'm
Chris's
touching
face.
his
He's like,
winky.
Jesus, him again.
Stomach.
So,
So the doctor said, he used this finger, right?
This
The
is where
doctor
I put
used
it. And Chris is like,
It's like
and he-
Robbie's going, this is the man's stomach.
Yeah.
check out the abs on that. So anyway, we
Guess
stopped
where his
by
hand is now.
we stopped by Sonicware to have a listen and a look at their Deconstruct Minimal unit, which, as I said last week, is kind of like an evolution of the Livens. But it's a lot more focus. There's a lot more knob per function. There's loads of hands-on controls on this thing. There's no sort of deep shifting things going on. There's no overlays to be used. It's very immediate. If you want to hear what that sounds like and understand what it's doing, go and check the video out over on our channel now. We've also got, and let's see if I can get a crazy still of me pulling funny faces here. Yeah, there we go. Here you go. Here's a good one for you. What? I can't seem to put... We went to see Osmos and we went to see Christopher and Thomas, and Thomas does this incredible demonstration of the Osmos CE playing this Control E plugin, and it was that good that Peter, who had sworn off the Osmos and said, no, I'm a Rise man through and through, walked away from that stand and said, I'm buying one. Simple as that.
I see is that a little Bree 6 that I see sitting behind that as well?
Yeah, they've got a little Bree 6 to mess around with that as well, but we didn't hear that in action. But I mean, some of the stuff that he was playing, let me see if I can find that bit. Just skim through here. There was a bit sort of halfway through-ish where he was playing something rather cool, but I'm not going to be able to find it now. Go and watch the video. Go and listen to Thomas plays. Oh, here we go.
Just there.
Here it is. Right. Have a listen to this.
There he was even exploring some expressive functionality, like a press glide, where despite the segmented surface, you can still, by distributing pressure between two notes, decide where you want to go, slowly or very quickly.
That's such a cool feature, I have to say.
Yeah, it's
I want that
good.
feature.
Yeah, well,
you had that feature.
you did.
You did, you twonk.
Look, I didn't want to sell it. It was required. Okay.
People are worried when they get one of these that they won't be able to play like regular instruments without any of that. You can switch all of that fancy stuff off and just play a regular piano like this.
Tomas is going to do for you.
Fantastic.
at the same
When you
time,
say
there's
you
this
can play a
augmented keyboard
piano-
action.
Say again.
When you say you can play a piano like that, I can't play a piano like that anyway. So
No.
is this going to help?
No, most people can't play a piano like that. But it means that you don't have to worry about, if you do wobble the key, it won't affect the sound. So you can just turn all of that stuff off and just use it as a regular standard controller. What really impressed me was the integration, the door integration, the way that, and it's difficult to capture a small screen and a laptop screen at the same time, but the direct connection between the two has been very well thought out. And so if you have this as your main keyboard controller on your desk, you often won't have to worry about touching your mouse to navigate through the door that you're working with, and the plugin as well. It's very well designed. And to allay anybody's fears, if you own an Osmo Synth, you will get this Control E plugin and the firmware update that gives you all of the door control that you saw here in about 2 months' time. So they're thinking about around July, I think, was when they're hoping to get it out. And then a little bit after that, they'll be releasing the new Hackett Audio editing interfaces, which work like normal synthesizers, and you don't need a degree in nuclear physics to operate it. So yeah,
Yes,
very welcome. So all Osmo Synth owners will get all of this functionality, all of that plug-in stuff as well. And of course, the plugin contains about 9 different engines at the moment, including GeForce's Map engine. And if you own the GeForce plugin, for example, you get full editing capabilities within the Control E plugin. If you don't, you just get all the presets and you can't tweak them, but you still get a whole bunch of stuff for free.
And I'm going to be getting this next week. Now, I was going to get it this last week, credit cards, all that kind of stuff you heard. So if anyone is looking for a Korg Key Stage 2 61, give me a shout. Make me an offer.
Yeah. Hey, make him one he can't refuse.
Give you a fiver. I'm from Scotland. They'll give you a fiver.
That much? Coming from Scotland.
No, sorry. I'll give you £11.
11. I'll swap you for the Orkneys.
So if you want to watch both of those videos, they are on our channel right now, so go and avail yourself of those. We will be putting up our walk around video, which I had to completely 100% delegate to Peter because I was busy in meetings, so he ably volunteered and did the entire site walk around from Bungalow Dorf to the wooded areas outside to the exposed areas outside, and everything indoors was all captured, and we'll be setting that to some music, and you can sit and watch and have a look around what Superbooth is. But listen, if you can make it to Superbooth, you have to go. It is one of those events that is, as we said at the top of the show, it's all about the community. It's all about meeting your friends, the people you speak to regularly online or see on shows like this. It's where you all hang out and chill and have great fun. And
I'll be breaking my Superbooth virginity next year.
Brilliant.
Me and Shona are definitely going next year. So.
Excellent. In fact,
is she going for a holiday?
Yeah, we're going to stay on. Once Superbooth's finished, we're going to do a bit of travelling.
Yeah, do it, because it's a good place there as well.
Country.
Yeah.
And Mrs. P said to me before I went this year, she said, maybe next year I'll come with you. And then I was speaking to Ty the other day, and he, apparently Pip's quite keen to come. So it could be that we all bring our wives. And, we could all end up broke, and when we go to buy the synths that we saw, we'll find our credit cards have reached their limits.
They've all been talking. That's what's they've all been talking. They're going to buy shoes and handbags.
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
They're going to get price lists, and they're going to know how much you're spending.
No, don't let them.
Stay single, guys.
You can't actually buy anything at Superbooth.
So when you go, it's only $6.99. They go, no, it wasn't.
It was a show price. It was the show price.
Yeah.
You can't buy anything at Superbooth, which is probably a good thing. The only thing that you can buy at Superbooth, does anybody know the answer to this question? There is one thing, one brand that, apart from the food and drink, but in terms of exhibitors, there's one exhibitor that is allowed to sell. Does anybody know what that is?
No.
Bukes.
Kim
can sell books.
That's lovely.
Nobody else can sell anything. That's because there's no other booksellers. Absolutely.
That's absolutely right.
I didn't realise they weren't allowed to sell things over there. I didn't realise that.
Not at the show. No.
Wow.
And it's one of Herr Schneider's kind of rules is that it's fair for every. If nobody can sell, that's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just kind of levels the playing field once again. And there was this lovely little kind of callback to the origins of Superbooth this year when they had this like corner dedicated to the Icelandic synths. So I guess they all kind of clubbed together and rented this pitch. So that was kind of nice to see. We saw the Genki, the Icelandic thing with the big volcanic end cheeks, which sounds amazing. Love the synthesizers were there with a new version of the Love FM, which looked very cool. Some really good stuff.
That's Dina saying there, and wow, did he sell books? He sold the whole lot there.
I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a little story. This bloke came up to buy a book at the Buke stand, and they were having terrible trouble getting his card to authorise. He tried one card, he tried another card. It was getting desperate. This was the last copy of this particular Buke's publication. So he said, okay, look, I'm going to go and find a cash machine off site somewhere, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to pay you with cash. Unbeknownst to the person that was selling the book, somebody else sold it just as he came back with the cash.
Oh, no.
The person that bought that book overheard the conversation and went back and said, here you go, just give me my money back, give him the book, let him buy the book. And so this wonderful, and this is just a testament
community.
to
the
community.
He says, you have it. You've been through a lot. You have it. And then Mike says, hang on a minute. And he goes and gets Kim. Kim comes along and says to the guy who's just given the book back, he said, here's my email address. When you get home, order the book you want and I'll give you a discount on the book.
Very good.
See,
that's what
being
it's about.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah.
It does pay.
All it takes.
Yeah, it does. Nice to be nice.
It was a wonderful moment, a really cool thing. Great stuff. Right, there is a new synthesizer, and this one's going to get a few heckles up, I think. I think we've got an advert for it. We do. Let me just play this, and we'll talk about it in just a moment. This is new from Pulsar Modular, who we've talked about their stuff many years ago, actually. They've done a lot of effects. Now they've done a semi-modular synthesizer. Pulsar Modular sounds quite nice. It's not a piece of hardware, just in case anybody is under that illusion, because it was kind of a very cool advert there. This is a software instrument. It's a plug-in instrument. It is 3 oscillators. You got state variable filters with 2 of them with 4 modes, 170 roots possible with the mod matrix. 2 morphing primary oscillators, 1 dedicated sub oscillator. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. I'm going to ask you, how much do you think something like this would cost?
99 quid.
59 quid.
59.
11.
11.
11 quid.
11.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
So that's what, 160 quid?
Yeah.
Is it?
About
So I've been very lucky
Pay
enough.
that for the hardware.
Yeah, I was very lucky to get a pre-release copy of this limited timed out thing, and unfortunately I didn't have a huge amount of time to sit around and play with it because it was kind of during the Superbooth prep and when I was away in Germany. It is. I'm just trying to find there's a full screenshot here. I don't think there is actually. We can just kind of zoom in on that, I think. it's a very simple interface, and it sounds great. I mean, it's a really good sounding synth. But when I didn't know what the price was going to be, and then this morning when it was announced officially, I saw that and I thought, oh god, I'm not entirely sure that's a good price point to go into the market with your first synthesizer.
What Cherry Audio charge. I mean, I get why it's that much money, because it obviously is a lot of work that's gone into this, but it's in a very competitive marketplace where you can get a 3 oscillator synth that, has all the easy cats kicking the table over. So I wish them luck for sure. It sounds great.
Does sound good.
They do some really good stuff. Yeah, they do some really good stuff. I use their Lunar Lander plugin quite a bit, and that's very nice. And they did a fixed filter bank from the Moog,
Chrome.
Which
Uncle Chrome said exorbitant. That's brilliant.
That's that deserves a. I just think that maybe they're. I get it. This has been 4 years in development, and when they first sort of announced that they were going to work on this, it was going to be a mono synth, and they just kind of got carried away and developed this polysynth, and it does sound great.
Yeah,
but I just think the pricing is going to put a lot of people off.
The cost to you is not the cost that the public will necessarily bear. And to be honest, I have actually bought the Orchestral Suite too. So that's in my thing. I could be trying that. And at £100, that's a brilliant buy. This, I mean, it may be worthwhile, but there are not better. There's lots of competition.
Yeah,
out there.
A huge competition. It does sound great. I think it's remember that the Cherry Audio stuff is based on older synths. This is unique. It's a new synth. It's a new instrument. So I get why it's that price, but it is when you consider what you can also acquire for that money. I mean,
well, I'm taking from the video that it's based on SEM 3340s and 3320s.
20s, yeah, I saw those as well.
Right, so it's going to be the virtualized sound of a Prophet 5 stroke OB8.
So
they make a lot of reference to Junos and Jupiters as well, that you
which don't contain those ICs, which is
but 3 oscillators, 2 filters, 3 envelope generators, an arpeggiator, loads of effects, and say a pretty comprehensive mod matrix. It's a versatile, very good sounding synth. I just feel that maybe that price is gonna.
I think it might have 120 quid too much on it.
At
best.
Actually, even 129 would be a
129, 149,
129. That feels a bit more. Because it is unique, and they've worked hard at it. Then they're not.
But here's the thing: they're doing 30-day free trial, completely, full use of it.
Absolutely,
and that you can make your own mind up then. Maybe you'll go, do you know what? This is I can't not have this in my life. Who knows?
Yeah, indeed. So that is Zorba from Pulsar Modular. They really do very good stuff. It's very well made. And go and check it out. See if you want to spend that money on one of those things, and let us know what you think, if it's up to scratch. So there you go. That is Zorba, the Tyrant. 40 years of analog DNA in one instrument. Right. There's been a lot of talk about this. I pressed the wrong blooming button. There's me trying to be clever. Here we go. Right. There's been a lot of talk about this Reason 14, which has just dropped. Okay. Now, Reason. I've been a big Reason user, as you all know. I will tell you as much as shout it at you that Reason has been a massive part of my life. But since going to Reason 14, I've fallen back in love with this thing, and it is really, really good. And I just wanted to kind of show it a little bit of love by just kind of giving you an idea of what it's able to do. So I'm going to just bring it up onto the screen. That one there, and that. Where are we? There we go. Add to the stage. There it is. So seasoned Reason users will notice that there's some stuff missing here. This is what you see when you power up Reason 14. You'll notice that down the left-hand side, that browser is no longer there. You can turn it back on; it's there. It hasn't gone away, but it's not there by default. And you'll also notice that there's no rack. And of course, Reason was very famous for its rack. The default view is full-on sequencer because it's a door. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they are very much leaning towards what everyone else does. But they still have their unique take on this. So on the left-hand side now, you have a rack per track. So whenever you build a new track, so you can just add an instrument. Let's just say we'll add in Suede, which is one of my favorite plugins. So now Suede has its own little rack here. Now I can open up the plugin by clicking on it there, but I can add effect devices in there. So maybe we'll put on some Ripley space delay in there. We can add another effect in that chain. We'll put in EFX ambient. So I'm now building a rack for the track. And when I click onto the other track, I get the rack for that track, which I think is a much more improved way of doing things, because it's less clutter. Now, if you absolutely can't do without the rack, then you can click the rack button, and I don't know if you can see this on the screen because I have to share this as well, but the rack opens up in a separate window which you can then hide away, and due to the nature of the way that this thing shares screen items, you're not seeing that. You can also do the same with the mixer, so you can bring the mixer up as a part of the main screen. And the mixer is looking rather sexy as well now. They've gone to this kind of black, you can have a dark mode in here as well, so it looks very nice. And I just think that Reason, since their takeover by Lander, I think they are getting the message finally that you can still be unique with your product, but you can also not be so left field that people go, I don't like it, it's a bit of a toy sort of thing.
Does this work within other doors? Is it a VST plugin?
So when you buy Reason or rent Reason or subscribe to Reason, you get the Reason Rack plugins, so you can actually use all the Reason Rack devices as a plugin in other doors. But Reason itself is a standalone digital audio workstation, always has been.
That's kind of cool.
But it is much more focused on the sequencer now. And there's a lot of other, I've just scratched the surface. There's loads of other great new tools in there. One great thing is that if you moved things around in the rack, it didn't automatically reroute. Because, if you flip the rack over, you got all the cables at the back. It didn't automatically reroute things based on where you moved them to. Now it does. So it does all of that stuff. So you can just move things in the chain, and it does all the rerouting for you, which is a very cool thing. It looks prettier. It's more practical, and it's much more inviting to go and work in. So that's out now. Came out last week, and is a much needed improvement, I think. Any thoughts on Reason? I know we always go on this, and we always end up talking about how we don't really like it, or it's a toy sort of thing.
Reason 2 was the last time I used Reason.
Really? Yeah.
I downloaded this, didn't I? Give it a try.
But that was the last version. You downloaded Reason 13.
Yeah, but the updates that it's done is weirdly to try and make it look more like Cubase.
Or more like traditional doors.
Yeah.
But it still has its unique features. They've just kind of moved them out of the way. They don't necessarily dominate. I think a lot of people weren't keen on having a rack of instruments with everything in there. Click on a track, you get exactly what's in that track, which you do on other doors.
I mean, it's clear that you're just a teensiest bit of an enthusiast for this, Rob.
I love it.
I've always loved it. The truth is that there's a huge amount of inertia on this that it's going to need to build, because it's been inert for a long while in most people's minds because they haven't touched it since Reason 2. There's a lot of people that haven't. Now, the thing is, this is going to take time to turn it around, but I think they're doing exactly the right thing to make that work. And I like the approach. I actually do like the approach. I think this is a really, really good step forward, and I'm going to be keeping an eye. Them being taken over has obviously been a very good thing, and they seem to have in the interviews, they seem to have a lot more energy about them now as well, which is great. So yeah, I'm pleased as punch.
I will kind of chomp back at the assumption that a lot of people don't like it, and the fact that it's still around means that they're selling. It's there is a good solid user base out there. I think a lot of people use it as a second door or as more as an instrument that they can use in their other doors rather than the main door itself. Many artists use this. I mean, the Beastie Boys used to use Reason all the time. There's lots of big name artists that use it, and I think maybe there's a kind of an embarrassment by saying you use Reason, because it has kind of got this reputation as being the kind of the toy of doors rather than serious, hard-on, professional Cubase, Logic, that kind of thing. And I think
I never saw it as competing with any of those. I always saw it as a standalone instrument, and I think most people did. I think what this has done is say, guess what? You can now use this in your existing setup, and I think that's where I didn't mean that there wasn't. By the way, that it's not popular, because it is still. There's lots of people like it, but I just don't think new people have embraced it, and I think people have kind of forgotten it because they haven't. It hasn't been visible. This is going to make it work with lots of other things.
Hope so.
I think that's a good thing.
They're spending a lot of money
it's a
on
really
advertising,
good thing.
aren't
Yes.
they? They're spending a lot of money on advertising. So somebody pointed out that they're making it viable for music to buy. I mean, it wouldn't be. They're building their portfolio, their software portfolio, aren't they, in music?
Yes.
So it would make sense for them to buy this,
Yeah.
and they'd probably push it even further. So
Yeah.
for those that want it.
The integration already between Reason and Lander is building up. For example, you've got the Reason Hub now, which allows you to get access to a whole bunch of Lander functionality as well. So, it's. I think it's good. I think there was a period where Reason was just like really kind of treading water, and they didn't quite know whether they wanted to open everything up so that you could use all your plugins, or not open everything. I mean, Reason still doesn't support MPE. It still doesn't support audio units in its thing. So I think you need to address those as well to get it.
But I think that it feels like that's going to come.
Yeah, I would have expected it to. So I think this is nice. I think it's a really good update, and I think if you have been thinking about trying, you can try it. There is a demo version you can go and have a play with. So it's well worth it. And Recycle got an upgrade as well not that long ago, and that's still a very cool program.
And that's reason enough to buy it.
Badum tish. There we go. We got about 15
we needed
minutes
the
left.
silence again there. We needed that silence.
I want to talk about. Let me just get rid of this.
He's moving. He's moving. Literally, another arm's length away.
Are you talking about Kent in his garage? He's moving.
Kent's in there in his nest. His nest of cables.
Yeah.
So a little while back, I just stumbled across this video online, and the title of it is "Talent is Evenly Distributed, Opportunity Isn't." Now, this guy hasn't got many, he's got about like 4,000 subscribers. The video hasn't gone viral for any particular reason, but I think that in the 5 odd minutes that he's talking, and this guy is an artist himself. He's been making music for like 20 years. He does a lot of work. He's been signed to labels and stuff. He's been around. He makes a very good point. I'm going to play just a little bit of the opening of the video, and then maybe we can discuss what he's talking about here. So have a listen to this.
There's this thing that goes around with people who make music. There's this idea that it's a meritocracy and, work hard. All you got to do is hard work, mate. Best music wins, just try some more. It's just not true, and we need to talk about it. So the freedom to create / time. To get good at anything, you need to practice and experiment. You need time in abundance, 10,000 hours, loads of reps, the usual cliches. Some people are afforded time. It could be they have a safety net. They got parents with some money. They ain't got to work. They can spend 3 years working it all out, failing, try again. Sweet. Then you've got people who have to work every day and they are not afforded time. To expect them to come home from a job and then be creatively energized is insane. And also physically exhausted. You don't want to sit down and make music. The playing field is already uneven and you haven't even played a single note.
He goes on to talk about, privilege. The fact, and privilege is not having rich parents. It's not having, a famous father or mother who can get you into a studio. It's just simply about being very fortunate to have what he was talking about there, having the time to hone your craft, to practice, to rehearse, to go out and to be able to fail and not have to worry about putting food on the table or a roof over your head or clothes on your back. And I just think I've often, whenever you look at, I remember seeing a documentary, I can't remember who the band was, and they were talking, I think they were one of these kind of manufactured bands, and one of the members was saying, oh yeah, well, if you have your dreams, you got to work hard and never give up on your dreams and you'll be successful. And I'm sat there thinking, no, you won't. Because there are thousands and thousands of people who are super, super talented,
well,
work as hard as they can.
There's no music industry. It's like this big. So what are you working hard for?
Exactly. And there was just this kind of like just banging your head against the wall. You can't go around telling people that they'll succeed in their dreams by working hard if most of those people don't have the safety net of maybe being... I mean, your privilege might be that your parents let you stay at home rent-free for 3 or 4 years after you leave school, and you don't have to worry about breakfast, dinner, lunch. You don't have to worry about not being able to pay the rent because your parents are looking after you, and that's great, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there are thousands of people who can't stay at home for whatever reason, have to leave home, have to pay rent, have to work 40, 50 hours a week just so they can survive. And as he said there, you come home at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is sit in front of your instruments and make music because you're not feeling very creative at all. And yet you might have way more talent in your little finger than some other people who will eventually kind of make it. And I just thought it was an interesting thing, and I just wondered what you all thought about this kind of concept of if you work hard and you push hard, you'll get you'll be able to fulfill your dreams, and yet so many thousands of people are disappointed every day because they just can't afford to do that.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up at the end of the 2 hours rather than the beginning, because it would have taken up the entire show.
This is indeed an entire show. You could speak about this.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's a concept.
Round
table.
I mean,
maybe we will.
Where to start, mate?
Maybe I'll get this guy on. Maybe we'll have a special.
Do you know what I was thinking? That was the video was playing. I go, you should get this bloke on.
When you watch the video, he makes some great points. Very articulate.
I mean, you look at all the gear in here, right? The job I do allows me to buy the gear. I brought this up on the pub before now. The job I do over time, when things are good, allows me to buy the gear. But the job also takes away my ability to spend any significant time on them. It's, give with one hand, take with the other.
But that's the same for every single pursuit you can name, whether it's golf, rock climbing.
It applies to much. Yeah, to everything. It applies to all sorts of aspects.
I think that we should do a special show, because I could wang on wax lyrical about this for a long time. I think we should get him on. I think it's a really good subject to talk about.
It's just a lot of other pursuits, Andrew, have got a massive target that you're aiming for, whereas the music industry is, it's like Jason said, it's just such a
tiny.
It's tiny, yeah.
It's changed.
It's big bucks for who's in it, but it's tiny.
Yeah, but the narrative I've always heard pointed at me about the music business was not about if you follow your dreams and you work hard. It's not. It's like it's who you know.
Yeah, very much.
It's who you get to know. Who you get to know, putting your face out there all the time and everything like until somebody notices you.
Or good fortune. I mean, speaking from my perspective, I became friends with a great sound designer. He taught me a lot of stuff and he got me work with companies. That then gets me noticed by other people. but there's also this good fortune thing. You know, I wrote a blog mainly about the Fairlight, and that got me noticed by someone. That was just luck, and a lot of things have come off of that, but it's luck. And the reason I'm still doing 90% day job, 10% this, is because I can't afford to give up the day job to do that stuff, because it just doesn't pay enough. And that's another illusion about this industry, and obviously that's what we're focused on, is that, you know, young people think that there's a living to be made, and there is, but it ain't the best living in the world. You know, the music industry, when you what you see on the surface, you know, the artists is upper echelon stuff. Yeah, there's probably megabucks going on there, but all of the stuff that sits below it, from the roadies to the engineers to the T-boys in the studios, or the T-girls in the studios, all of that stuff that goes on underneath, low paid, high effort, many hours, lots of grafting. You know,
but as Jason says, that the music business doesn't actually exist anymore. You know, on the premise that we
as
grew
it
up
was,
on, as it was, right?
As it would be understood.
I mean, when it comes to, like, because I like to write, I like to record and produce music. You know, actual finished tracks, for Christ's sake, that would be interesting. And then put it out there, and people listen to it if they want to or not. That's fine. But that's my love. That's what I love doing. But my job that allows me to buy this stuff, as I say, does not allow me enough times to actually really sit down and focus and get on with stuff.
Yeah, Rich Hilton said in the comments that you better just like making music, and I think that's
Yeah.
it is. Do it
Exactly that.
Of composition, of playing
Exactly
it. Do
that.
it for your mental
Yeah, it's
health.
not about
Do it for
making
those
money
reasons.
or
Don't
anything
think
like
about
that. No,
Yeah.
And I think
we would
I
all
think-
agree, though, if we could make music for a living, even if it's just a basic living, we'd jump at the chance. If we could do that and make enough money to put a roof over our heads and keep us happy, we'd do it.
Do you know,
going up here, to your Taylor Swift, and that's another thing. But I think
do you think, though, we all kind of think in the back of our minds that, yeah, we would jump at the chance, but then you would jump at the chance and then it would become a job.
There is that.
and that's
So-
that's
the
where I was going
enjoyment,
with.
the enjoyment from it then ends up because you're under pressure to get tunes out for labels. You've got tours, you're on planes, there's all this that comes with it. It's not an easy. It's a well-paid lifestyle, but it's not an easy lifestyle.
Do you know,
Yeah.
the truth is, there's a million people out there who are really, really good musicians, producers, engineers, blah blah blah, and there's very few that will actually have a career. And that's not about privilege. That's just the truth. It's always been the case. And I've got to say that the day that I gave up the music industry because I was sick to death of it, because of the pressure, I started enjoying music much more then. I think make music because you want to. And the truth is, if you want to make a living from music, you can still do it now. Go and do cruises, go and do wedding things, go and do cover bands, go and do... I mean, seriously, you're still playing music, but it's a job.
And you
But you can do it. You can seriously do it.
When I got laid off from a job about 15 years ago, I sat down and had a conversation with Dave and Chris at GeForce, and with a view to getting work within the industry, whether it's tech support, whether it's manual writing, whether it's beta testing, all of this stuff. And the words of Dave still ring loudly in my ears, that he said, if you do this, you're making your hobby your career, and all of a sudden it doesn't appeal so much.
Yeah.
However,
Because
I can imagine.
deadlines.
But there are going to be
bills.
jobs and stuff where it is fun and exciting and rewarding and artistically rewarding and soul enriching. But there's also a lot of times when it is soul destroying and defeating you mentally and physically.
The same reason, for exactly the same reason, I say to people all the time, you're a musician solely when you cannot envisage not making music, not being famous, not but none of that stuff, but just you can't envisage not making music. The same thing has to apply with this. If you think you've just got to go for it, and yes, at some point you're giving up either money or time or both of those or a standard of living, and you're either putting in the work and having the luck, or you're not. And not everyone will make it. It's a vanishingly small percentage of people that make a career out of it. Shouldn't stop you doing music.
I wouldn't be keen on working on cruise ships because your work would permanently be on
I get
sale.
seasick.
I
thought.
Do you know what? If I had £1 for every time I had somebody come to the door, right?
I'll get the coat.
Take mine.
If I had £1 for every time somebody's come to the door and they go, "Oh, your job must be mate, your job must be so great. You get to work with all these brilliant keyboards, you get to see all this stuff and everything like that." And I'm going, in my head, I'm going, "You got no fucking idea, mate. What it's like sitting in a corner at 2 o'clock in the bloody morning, going, the client's here in the morning and the thing still doesn't fucking work." It's. Yeah, go, "Oh, no, I get to play all these lovely keyboards." No.
And you tend to end up being, the older you get, or the longer you're doing it, you tend to be a lot more strategic about the kinds of work you take on and the kinds of things you do for your hobby. Because the two things can touch base and lead to other things, but it's a lot of luck.
Yeah. I mean, things can lead to things. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I mean, I think we can honestly say that the reason that I'm on PSN was because I repaired synths and Robbie decided he wanted to interview me. He had no guests. It was that or a field mouse that he found in the pantry. Yeah. And he went, I'll go for him. And so I come on, we do the longest show you've ever done, and then you hit me up and go, "Yeah, come on, be a guest." So things lead to things, certainly. So, be out there, show your face, be omnipresent, as it were. But don't think.
But make it because you can't not make it. That's why you should make it.
Just don't think you're going to be able to buy a Bugatti Veyron at the end of the year.
I do think that there is that level of expectation
that allow people to share their music with an audience of other like-minded musicians. I mean, Hardware Jams every Monday night, just back to back. It's a good place to be making music for the love of it, and I think the internet has given us that for free.
Absolutely. Yeah. There is that expectation now, particularly amongst the younger generation, that they see these talent shows on TV and they think all I've got to do is just get up on there, get the chance, and I can be a megastar, and I can live the lifestyle of Taylor Swift or Ed Sheeran or whatever it is.
I could be in a contender.
But that's the dream it's selling, isn't it?
That's the dream, and the dream just doesn't exist.
You get these people come on and go, "Well, I've got the tits and I've got the lips. I'm sorted." And they sing like somebody strangling a cat in a bucket. And they think they're going to make it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm catching up. I've just got the one tit down here, though. That's the only problem for some reason.
All I would say is, because we are getting close to the end of the show, is go and check out that video. I'm now going to just take the link and I'm going to drop it into the chat. Go and have a look. It's only about 5 minutes long, and the guy makes some really, really good points, and he's not taking away anything from people who've got talent. He's just saying that opportunity isn't as available or as prolific as the talent. Everyone's got lots of talent, but only a handful of people get the opportunity to do those things they want to do.
The corollary of that is we know lots of people, when it was a more vibrant music business back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, lots of people came from working class backgrounds and made a success, so maybe it was more available. Maybe there were more opportunity if you just, and there were, I don't know exactly why.
But there were bands with something. There were bands coming up. It's late 70s, early, right? You had new bands coming up, and they had something to say. There was messages in the lyrics meant stuff as well.
Well, there's Dina saying some of the happiest musicians I know are producers and session artists. They don't have to deal with the fame bullcaca. But are making music all day and all night.
I think maybe that's where we need to set everyone's expectations a little bit more realistically. Yes, you might be lucky enough to become the next Taylor or Ed or whoever it might be, but if all you ever become is Sleaford Mods or Kneecap or whatever, and you're getting your message across and you're not massively successful, but you have an audience, you're doing what you want to do, that's just as good as being, and all due respect, I love Sleaford Mods and Kneecap, by the way, so Don't get me wrong, I'm not using those as a bad example. I'm just saying they're not tailors and ends.
Because they're right in the middle where they can enjoy making music still. They're not corporate, they're doing their own stuff. And I think that's probably what everyone needs to aim for. Forget the Taylor Swift.
It's the same with the likes of your Enigma and stuff like that as well, or Daft Punk. They would never be noticed on the street. Anyone, nobody would know who they were or what they look like, you know? That would be the pinnacle of some sort of... You don't want the fame, but the success would be there, if you know what I mean. But
one of the big differences between when we were young, for example, when pop music was
when I was a lad.
When I was a lad, pop music was like this big thing. Nowadays,
the wheel was
fragmented. Nowadays, it's fragmented, and you've got your pop music, chart pop music, your popular stuff that you see on all the socials and stuff, and then you go and switch over to, say, for example, here in the UK, Six Music. You don't hear any of that, but you are hearing amazing music, stuff that you'll not hear on mainstream, but is modern, is current, is made by young people coming through in emoji. It's there, but it's not as prominent. And I think we have to maybe just set more realistic expectations of our up and coming artists. That you don't have to be that $1 million selling artist.
Donald Duck has posted, imagine the pressure Sam is already under with the Eurovision.
Did you hear what he said?
I don't think he is.
No, did you hear what he said on that news thing today? He's had pressure testing. So they've sat him down and because they know that he's going to get, and he's not been put into a hyperbaric chamber. He's they've trained him to deal with the weight of the media and the expectation from that particular thing that he's doing. So he's had to go through. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But
he did this for a crack, and he's happy doing what he's doing. Yeah. He's already got an audience. If this doesn't work, he will have. If he gets no points, he will have. Look, mum, no points.
Classic example of doing it for the love of the music. First, and then an opportunity arriving, jumping on the opportunity, and relishing the moment, and not overthinking or overplaying your hand. Just doing it for the love of music.
Exactly. Yeah. And on that note, we'll wind it out here because we could go on and on and on. But please do go and check out that video and join in the conversation over on the comment section there. Make that video viral because I think.
Well, after your conversation there, Rob, I just found perfect outro music.
The Sound of Silence.
When I weren't lads.
Can't hear anything. We can't hear anything.
There's no sound.
There's no
sound. No sound.
Now we're getting echo. Right, stop it. Copyright.
I know. When I weren't lads.
Right, turn that off. Got the echo.
Oh shit! So we do.
There we go.
Before we go, thank you, Homegrown. Will any of our international friends be joining us at Synthfest this year? Yes, hopefully. He almost hit go on 500, not 5. That would
Damn
be
it,
nice.
Next time.
Yeah, we'll try and get him. Thank you to the lovely Dina for posting a super stick of $3. And to the president himself, who I'm very much looking forward to seeing next month. Fingers crossed.
I'll tell you what, Richard I wish Hilton. He was.
What? President?
Yeah.
I'd vote for him. Thank you very much, Rich. Much appreciated. Serial number 1 there. Guys, thank you so much. As always, we'll be back same time, same place next week. I don't think we've got a guest lined up just yet, but we will have some good stuff coming down the way. As I said, we've got Christian from Modular Instruments, lots of interesting things to talk about with him. We've got Mitchell Sigmund coming on the show. Actually, is Mitchell coming on? Let's see. I've lost my thing. Mitchell might be coming on very soon because I spoke to him the other day. What's the date today? 15th. Yes, Mitchell Sigmund next week. How can I forget that? Yay! So Mitchell's going to be... And by the way, go and check out the video that he's done for Cherry Audio where he shows how he uses... is it Harmonia? It's Harmonia. Yeah. So thank you. Mitchell will be back and gracing us with his presence and telling us about what he's been doing since he's retired from life at Cherry Audio, which I think is very interesting. Thank you, Scott, for your tenor. Yes, that will cover... well, it might not, but you never know.
You never know. I don't know. I think even the algorithm couldn't recognise it.
No, probably not. But yeah, Mitchell Sigmund next week, and then hopefully some great guests. I made some interesting contacts. I got to hang very shortly with Peter Kern from CDM. What a super interesting guy, and it was a real I love his work because I'm a big fan of the long form writing, and he does a lot of that, and he's very good. And we hung out, should I say, with Arturia for a little while last week. And he's got my card, and I said I'll be in touch. And he says I'll watch the show. So Peter, if you're watching, it's great to meet you, and I'm going to be getting in touch with you, my friend. Anyway, brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for all of your donations. Thank you for watching. We'll be back same time, same place next week with Mitchell Sigmund as our guest. And have a fantastic weekend. Make loads of great music, and we'll see you all very soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.